Hello, good morning. In the previous class, we are starting the modulus of Lech. That is three types of modulus of elasticity. First one is the Young's modulus, that is denoted by the letter Y. Second is the bulk modulus, which we already explained in the previous class. That is the ratio of volume stress to the volume strain. Here, volume stress is nothing but the increase in hydrostatic pressure. That is the volume stress divided by volume strain. And here, volume stress is nothing but the force per unit area. And volume strain is nothing but the change in the volume to the original volume. So we can write this K is equals to Fv divided by del V into A. And this increase in the hydrostatic pressure we write here dP. V, that is another form, K is equals to minus V into dP by dV. So this negative sign indicates that there is a decrease in the volume when we increase the pressure. Here the pressure increases, increase in hydrostatic pressure, there is a decrease in volume. So that's why here negative sign to decrease in the volume. And the unit of this K, that is the bulk modulus, is the same, that is the Newton per meter square, and the dimension is same, that is m1 L minus 1 T minus 2. Okay, so this completed the bulk modulus. There are third modulus, that is third one is the modulus of rigidity. Third is the modulus of rigidity. This is denoted by the letter eta. So here the ratio of shearing stress, to the shearing strain is called the modulus of rigidity. So therefore eta is equals to shearing stress divided by shearing strain. This eta is equals to force per unit area, that is the shearing stress, and shearing strain, that is already know that theta is the shearing strain. So therefore when we write here this theta is equals to here F divided by A theta. So this is the modulus of rigidity. Theta is equals to F by A theta, and its unit is also Newton per meter square, and dimension is m1 L minus 1 T minus 2. Okay, so this is the last number of modulus of Lech. There are three types of modulus of elasticity. The first one is the Young's modulus, second one is the bulk modulus, and third one is the modulus of rigidity, that is theta is equals to F by A theta. So next one is the compressibility. Fourth one is the compressibility. Compressibility is the reverse of, compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Means this compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Okay, that means this compressibility is equals to 1 by K. Okay, so this is nothing but the compressibility is the fractional decrease in the volume, that is minus delta V by V per unit increase in the pressure. So therefore this SI unit of this compressibility is the meter square per Newton, and the dimension is L1 M minus 1 T1, L1 M minus 1 T2. That means the reverse. So these are the four types of modulus of elasticity. That is the first one is the Young's modulus, second one is the bulk modulus, third one is the modulus of rigidity, and The reciprocal of this bulk modulus is the compressibility. Okay. So next topic is the Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio. This is the important topic. Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio, and it is denoted by the letter sigma. Okay. So before starting this topic, we have to know the some definition, that is when a body is stretched in the direction of its length by applying two equal and opposite forces at the ends of its length, what happened? There is a contraction of the transverse section of the body. That means there is a decrease in length per unit length of the transverse segment. It is called the lateral contraction. That means when we apply, this is one type of body. And when we apply equal and opposite forces on that body, what happened? This transverse section means there is a stretching of this, contraction of this transverse section of this substance. That means there is a decrease in diameter. There is a decrease in diameter. Okay. That is called the lateral contraction of this body. Okay. One word, that is the lateral contraction. We have to know what is the lateral contraction. Means when we apply the force, or when a body is stretched up to the in the direction of its length, means when we apply a force on the equal and opposite sides of the body, there is a means opposite forces at the ends of its length. There is a decrease or contraction of the transverse section of the body, means there is a contraction of this middle part, that is the transverse section of the body. So this is known as the lateral contraction, means there is a decrease in length per unit length of the transverse segment. So this is known as the lateral contraction. So the Poisson's ratio is denoted by the letter sigma and has been introduced. Poisson's ratio is defined as, it is the ratio of lateral strain to the tensile strain or the longitudinal strain. Tensile strain, that is also known as the longitudinal strain. Okay. It is called the Poisson's ratio within the elastic limit, and these all are within the elastic limit. So this is known as the Poisson's ratio, and this is denoted by the letter sigma. Therefore, sigma is equals to the ratio of lateral strain. This lateral strain divided by tensile or longitudinal strain. Tensile or longitudinal strain. Okay. So here this lateral strain denoted by the letter alpha, and longitudinal strain, this denoted by the letter beta, and this longitudinal strain is denoted by the letter alpha. Okay. So here lateral strain is nothing but the change in the decrease in diameter to the original diameter. So this is called the decrease in diameter to the original diameter. It is called the lateral strain. Okay, decrease in diameter to the original diameter. So let's here small d is the decrease in diameter and capital D is the original diameter. Okay, and here longitudinal strain means increase in length to the original length, small l by capital L. Okay, so this is known as the sigma Poisson's ratio, or here sigma can be written as the sigma is equals to this beta by alpha. We can write this as the same. Okay, so as we see, the latter Poisson's ratio is the ratio of same strain and strain. So that's why Poisson's ratio is a dimensionless quantity and having no unit. It has no dimension and no unit, and it has a specific value for specific material. The experimental value for sigma for many materials lies between the value of sigma lies between 0.25 to 0.6. 0.25 to 0.6. So this is the experimental value, and the theoretical value. So this is the experimental value, and theoretical value lies between, the theoretical value lies between -1 to 0.5, -1 to 0.5 for many of the substances. So here negative sign shows that, this negative sign shows that, sorry, here is a negative sign. Sigma is equals to minus of small d capital D divided by small l by capital L. So because this is the decrease in diameter to the original diameter, so there is a decrease in diameter, that's why we write here minus of D, means negative sign shows that the D decreases when L increases, means when we contract a material there is an increase in length, but when the increase in length there is a decrease in diameter. So that's why here negative sign sigma. Then again, if alpha is the change in length per unit stress P in the direction of stress, therefore alpha is equals to longitudinal strain divided by longitudinal stress. That means relation between this, that is sigma is equals to B by alpha, and there is another here, alpha is equals to 1 by this Y. These are the two relations which we apply in the next, that is alpha is equals to 1 by Y always, means here alpha is the 1 by Y, means Y is Young's modulus, means the ratio of alpha is the ratio of reciprocal of this Young's modulus, that means the longitudinal strain to the longitudinal stress. Therefore alpha is equals to 1 by Y, this sigma is equals to beta by alpha. Okay, so these are the two relations which we use in the next topic, that is the relation between this modulus of elasticity, three constant alpha, beta and alpha, beta, sigma. Okay, so which we'll see in the next class. Thank you.